Hey guys, so this is a follow-up video to my video on Mugwort, which is outperforming all my other videos and is getting a lot of questions and comments that I didn't expect at all. And some things I thought I addressed in the first video are also being asked about, but I'll try to clear everything up in this one. First one is the amount. Would you recommend like this amount or what amount for a beginner? Basically what I showed you in that video, just like a normal amount that you would use of just about any herb or tea to make tea with. If you're going to smoke it, it's probably hard to overdo it if you're just rolling one like little cigarette or joint sized thing of mugwort. The other one was, does it still work if you eat it freshly picked? All of my best and strongest experiences have been with fresh mugwort, eating it, drinking it, and fresh. And you can only smoke it if it's dry, of course. Someone else also asked, can you smoke it out of a pipe? Yeah, you can smoke it out of anything you can smoke out of. Someone said, does anyone have any weird glare or floaters? I don't know about floaters. That's probably, I mean, I'm not a doctor, obviously, and my knowledge is all very experiential rather than scientific, but I've definitely experienced the glare from doing massive doses of it. So I don't know if that person who wrote that is just very sensitive or if they way overdid it. But yeah, if you take a lot, you can definitely feel like a weird like glare. Like it's hard to describe. It's almost like you're wearing glasses and all the lights you see kind of create that like, beams of light effect. And you can feel kind of foggy and like you're moving underwater and kind of off balance. And that only lasts a few hours. And I usually only experience it if I've taken a huge dose. And then I'm waking up to go pee in the middle of the night and I have to like walk to the bathroom, then go back to bed. And then when I wake up, I feel normal again. So I think usually when that's happening, I've been asleep for the most part. So I wasn't awake to experience those effects. But my buddy, he used to have like mugwort parties with a bunch of people. And he was a crazy guy. He's the guy I did that type of massive dosing with. And they would stay up on it because it kind of puts you in your subconscious mind and makes waking life feel like a dream. And it makes dreams feel like waking life. It kind of blurs the lines between the astral and the material planes. So yeah, if you're experiencing that, in my experience, and I can't take responsibility for anything you do with this, by the way, in my experience, it's fine, and you'll get over it and feel normal in a few hours. And I find it pretty enjoyable. And again, though I'm kind of a crazy person who does a lot of substances in various dosages and mixing them with other things, and I have a lot of bad experiences too. So, teach their own. Take it with a grain of salt. Just be careful and start small with your dosage. Yeah, so you can feel weird. That was another question. And again, most of this just comes back to start small. People were asking me about dosage. Yeah, like normal tea size amount, maybe a little smaller, and go slow and careful. Someone also asked, oh, what am I doing wrong? It's not working. Well, many times I take mugwort and nothing happens, especially if I'm getting a new batch or a new plant from somewhere. And this is just speculation again, but I'm thinking, different plants from different areas grown in different soil under different conditions. It's probably like most herbs, will affect the potency and quality. But what I'll do oftentimes is take a little bit and work my way up every day with a new batch until I kind of get a feeling for it. And maybe I'll do it 3 to 5 days in a row and increase the dosage slowly and every night and see if anything kind of builds. And in my experience, the sooner you take it before bed, the better. If I take it like 3 hours before bed, usually I'll feel weird when I'm awake and then feel kind of normal and then go to bed and nothing will happen. But if I take it right before bed, that's when the dreams really kick in. So take it closer to bedtime could help. Increase the dosage slowly could help. And then really, I do recommend for the strongest effect to smoke it as well as take the tea. If I just smoke it, pretty good effects. If I just take the tea, pretty good effects, but if I do both, it always works. So if you're just drinking the tea and nothing's happening, smoke some too. Like a normal joint size or like bowl size amount would be pretty strong. You know, you might want to even go half. And I probably should have put this at the beginning of the video, but I'll leave like a little what do you call it? Annotation so people can find this part. The warnings. And I gave these warnings in the last video too, but I also gave them at the end, and some people got on me for that. There are some things to be wary of, and I'll say all of my most vivid nightmares have also been from Mugwort. And one of the comments I left in response to a question someone had was, if you're going to be going down this path of like inner work and exploring the subconscious, exploring the astral realm, all these things, I think a big part of it is learning to accept everything as equal and not prefer or favor one experience over another. So, you know, take your best dreams and your nightmares as being, you know, two sides of the same coin, and they all have value, whatever experience you're having, and you can learn about yourself and about the world through both types of experiences. And it can be scary in the moment, but, you know, I don't let that stop me from exploring. Like one of the worst nightmare I've ever had, the most vivid nightmare I ever had, was from taking a huge dose of mugwort, again with that dude that I was talking about earlier. We were at a mystery school in Guatemala, and it was growing all over the place, and drank some that night, and I had a false awakening experience, you know, where I dreamt that I woke up but I was still asleep, and I like went into a swimming pool, and there was a big shark in the swimming pool, and it swam up and it latched onto me and tore me apart. And in my dream, like, I was getting ripped into pieces, and my torso was going one way, and I could see like my torn up body parts and trails of blood in the water going the other way, like my limbs like floating past me, and I felt the pain as if it was real, and I felt the panic and the sensation of drowning and everything. It was incredibly real and vivid. It was, I mean, indistinguishable from reality. It wasn't that type of like soft, sort of like dream-like feeling that you normally get, you know. It might as well have been happening. I woke up very startled and adrenaline pumping, and yeah, it took probably a good like 3 hours to like really, you know, let go of that and like settle back into things. And that was by far the most extreme experience, but I'm just saying, you know, exercise caution. And again, I can't take responsibility for anything that happens if you try this. I'm just sharing my experience and a little guidance, hopefully with the intention of, you know, preventing things like this by just warning you, yeah, like start small and test your stuff. And well, when I say test your stuff, I mean, you know, make sure you're not allergic to it, and yeah, start small and see how you feel. One more thing before I go is make sure it's actually mugwort. The person who was asking why it's not working, you'd be surprised how easy it is to misidentify an herb or have like no experience with herbalism and go out there and like wildcraft herbs and then sell them to an herb store as that herb, and they'll sell it, you know, like as mugwort, and it's not even mugwort. Like, I've run into that before where I got some stuff from an herb store. I'm like, this doesn't really, it looks like mugwort, tastes like really bitter mugwort. I was pretty sure it was wormwood. It had like no effect on my psyche at all. I'm pretty sure this is just wormwood that someone misidentified as mugwort. So they're related and they're similar, but not exactly the same. Yeah, so say, you know, that type of whole world of like, you know, new agey spiritual herbalist stuff can get pretty murky, and those types of things can happen. So, you know, always be careful and go slow. Hope that helped. See you later.